If you drink alcohol and you notice that life has gotten boring unless it involves alcohol, here's why. So when you drink alcohol, it increases natural dopamine levels about 4x above baseline. So let me help you understand the neuroscience here. On average, we sit at about 50 nanograms per deciliter of dopamine in our brain. When you have sex and you eat your absolute favorite food, it increases dopamine to about 90 to 95. So as far as what normal everyday activities afford us in terms of increased feelings of pleasure and reward and euphoria, it about doubles our natural baseline circulating level of dopamine. But when you drink alcohol, it increases dopamine levels from 190 to 200. So you're increasing dopamine 4x above baseline and almost double what sex or food would provide you. This is what creates addiction and dependency on alcohol. Because when dopamine is released, it's activating a very deeply primal part of the brain called the reward center. And what happens is when this center is activated, it sends a signal to the rest of the mind and body to reinforce and repeat that behavior. Because the only time in our evolution and history when dopamine was secreted was either when we were having sex, eating food, or making meaningful progress towards one of those two activities. Now, when you hack the system with alcohol and you flood the brain with abnormally high levels of dopamine, your natural dopamine production is going to take a hit because now you've basically trained the body, you've introduced to the body an exogenous substance, meaning outside of you, like alcohol, to artificially tinker with your neurochemistry, making you feel good without having to earn it, without having to actually work hard to achieve this high level of dopamine. Before it returns back down to its normal baseline of 50, it's going to crash to the equal and opposite direction. And this is why the next day you feel incredibly unmotivated, you feel like you have brain fog, like everything just fucking sucks. And before it returns back up to baseline of 50, it's probably not going to return to the baseline. It's going to go to 48, and then it's going to drop to 45, and then 43, and then 40. And as that happens, you're going to begin to notice that everything else in your life that doesn't really involve alcohol is not very motivating. It's going to start to take the back seat, like your work, your health, your hobbies, your relationships, going to the gym, and everything else that's important to you. And slowly but surely, alcohol is going to become more and more prevalent in your life because now your mind and your brain isn't producing as much dopamine from normal day-to-day activities because you've introduced this drug that sets this totally abnormal high set point, which you're not even meant to experience. So if you struggle with alcohol, go ahead and follow me for more content to help you quit drinking, and let me know in the comments if this was helpful for you, and share it with somebody you know.